Welcome to another spooktacular episode of Back Issues here on Comic Pop. I think this is the third annual Halloween special we've done. We're doing Marvel Zombies from Robert Kirkman and Sean Phillips. This is, I guess the third one we've done in terms of like Halloween themes.
And
stuff.
in Comic Pop continuity.
Right.
Speaking of which, did we not kill you in the last one?
Oh yeah.
No, we certainly didn't. None of us shot him, and should talk about legal ramifications from that.
I'm meaning to talk to you about that. But no, actually what happened was, as you recall, you resurrected me using your Black Lantern ring.
Oh, we implied that I was resurrecting you.
Yeah.
Didn't really see what happened after that. It's kind of vague.
Yeah, well, trust me.
Well, I saw it, and I was shocked.
You watched it happen. You saw it happen.
Don't tell me it didn't happen. I was resurrected, and then afterwards, of course, I became a White Lantern, but when that got boring and everyone forgot about it, I came back.
How did you do that, by the way?
Who cares? Anyway, we're talking about Marvel Zombies here. This is awful.
Oh.
No, it's...
Isn't it by Robert Kirkman?
Yeah! Walking Dead's Robert Kirkman.
So
he loves zombies,
he just does
remember?
zombies,
Yeah.
This is bad?
No, here's the thing. Do you hate superheroes? Because if you do, you'll love this book. Do you think that, like, apathy and, like, the most macabre sense of humor is hilarious and great? Because if you do, then you'll probably love Marvel Zombies.
I do like a macabre sense of humor.
Well, it's from 2006. This is when Kirkman was writing for Marvel, and he's like, here's a concept, Marvel Zombies. And it's a concept about zombies that we haven't really seen before, kind of.
This is before or after Blackest Night?
This is before.
Okay.
So
Marvel
came up with the zombie thing
up with
first.
the idea first.
Yes.
Yeah, but apparently DC did it better.
Arguably, DC came up with a more clever idea.
Right.
Because Marvel Zombies takes place in another
Right, it's not in
universe.
continuity.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, it's a spin-off from Ultimate Fantastic Four, in which it was a story called Crossovers. Because when they created the Ultimate Universe, there was a decree from the higher-ups that said they will never cross over the Ultimate Universe and the regular universe.
Right.
Because that would betray a bankruptcy of ideas. The young Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe was being communicated with via interdimensional transport communication machine.
Some thingy.
Whatever.
Magical technology, yeah.
By our Reed Richards. And we're like, oh shit, we're gonna see. And so the young Fantastic Four from the Ultimate Universe go through this portal and end up in what seems to be a like regular Marvel universe, but they're all zombies.
Oh.
And they tricked him into coming over.
The zombies did.
Yeah.
So they have, like, thoughts and...
Yes!
That's smart for a zombie.
Well, the zombies all retain all of their original memories, thoughts, and personalities of their previous selves.
So we're just thrust into this? We have no idea? Or if we read Fantastic Four...
if you read Fantastic Four, you'd be like, whoa! Because at the end of Fantastic Four, or Ultimate Fantastic Four, Magneto, from this universe, closes the portal between the Ultimate Universe and the Zombie Universe to keep the zombies from being able to go into other dimensions.
Okay.
And ruin other realities. So Magneto stays behind, closes the portal, and then it ends with Magneto being like, I'm in for the fight of my life, and the zombies being like, blah, and you as the reader back then being like, well, that was weird.
Right.
But then Kirkman's like,
that was it?
and then he tells the rest of the story.
So this book picks up right there. You have no idea what the hell is happening.
If you have no concept of Ultimate Universe, yeah. You open with Magneto being like, okay, I've closed the portal, and everything ends here in this terrible universe with zombie versions of all the Marvel characters.
Okay.
And so all the Marvel characters...
That's kind of a good opener.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun hook. And all the Marvel characters, first of all, you meet the heroes.
Okay.
And it takes place in this weird period in Marvel history. It's not like an alternate history in which, something goes askew some point in the past.
Right.
Because they address continuity, but everybody is in odd costumes. Like, Archangel is Angel, and he's in his, 80s costume. But Captain America is called Colonel America, because at some point in comics, he was actually promoted to the rank of Colonel. And I don't remember if he actually called himself Colonel America back then, or if he was just a Colonel, but kept the affectation of Captain.
Okay.
But in this, they call him Colonel America.
All right.
But they also have, Luke Cage dressed as his 70s Power Man outfit. But it's
So
also...
It's not like if...
Disco is not dead.
It's undead.
It's not like if zombies... They all got turned into zombies, what would happen? It's a
Right.
little bit different than that.
Yes.
Okay.
The implication is through narration that, a visitor came from the stars and everything went fucked.
Oh.
Something happened. There
Very
was
recently, or...
Not especially.
okay.
Pretty recently in that all the Marvel characters have wiped the Earth clean
Oh.
of humanity. They've eaten everybody.
Ah,
And all that's left are the zombies.
okay. And the
And-
good characters are bad?
Yes.
They're all bad.
Well, they're all
They're all
zombies.
zombies.
Yeah.
Do they fight? Do the good zombies and the bad... Or the
They do.
hero characters and the villain characters fight with each other?
Yes, they all fight with each other over food.
Ah.
Oh. How is there any food left then?
Are we in the last days of the food? Like, there's
Yes.
very little food left.
Yes.
Were any of the people also turned into zombies, or was it just the heroes? and
Just the
villains?
superheroes and
Okay.
villains.
So if you get bitten by a superhero zombie, you don't become a zombie. They just
Mostly because you get eaten.
Right.
Yeah, like they don't
Like,
let
you don't get
anyone
away and turn into a zombie.
No.
I mean, do you think you could get away from Spider-Man if he was chasing
Right.
you down?
Right. I guess that
Then
makes sense.
you cannot get away from zombie Spider-Man.
Yeah. Magneto just unleashes on all of these Marvel heroes
Nice.
and fucks everybody up big time using all the metal. Because he's in New York. He's
Right,
like,
so he's
you
just like-
fools! I have access to your entire surroundings are my weapons! And he
Right.
just launches like girders through Daredevil and he uses
That's
Captain
awesome.
America's shield and lops off the top of his head, cutting his brain in half.
Oh, nice.
But then later, Colonel America is going to be like, I don't understand. Half my brain's gone. But I'm still fine.
Oh.
So it means that destroying the brain does not kill a
Wait, they
zombie.
haven't figured out yet? That?
No.
No
I
one
guess-
ever was able to shoot one of them in the head.
Nope.
Okay.
There's
And they
a
all just assumed that they were just regular zombies from, like, lore.
Yeah.
Who would be killed by destroying the brain.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we look like zombies, so...
and we eat flesh.
Right.
So yeah.
Interesting. So these are not proper
Okay.
zombies.
These are not proper zombies. Magneto just tears through everybody, and I think he gets like fucked up. Like he gets hurt. Hawkeye zombie shoots him with an arrow,
okay.
and then that slows him down. And then they all fucking eat him. Like they just get him. Eventually, Magneto tears through everybody. He like fucks up one of Spider-Man's legs, like cuts it so it's like almost hanging off, and he
Ugh.
cuts off Colonel America's head. Well, half his head anyway. You know, he destroys the zombie Hawkeye by cutting off his head,
Okay.
but that doesn't kill him.
Ah.
And everybody just kind of like tears into him, and then they eat him. What's
Yikes.
interesting is
Well, I mean, Giant Man is there.
Giant Man is there, and Wasp actually winds up getting the killing blow because she's little, and he's like, "You fools!" And then little Wasp like whoop, and then bites him, and he's like, "No!" And then he goes, "I hope you all choke on me!" And then they eat him, and then like
Gross.
it's gross, and there's like a million panels that just picked like the
Oh.
horrific consumption of Magneto.
Yikes.
I love that Hulk says he's the hungriest.
Yeah. Hulk winds up eating Magneto's whole leg, and then it's implied that after they consume flesh, they retain their lucidity. Like, when they're in the zombie mode, and when they're hungry, all they can think about is eating, but they're still able to talk to each other and formulate plans and stuff. It's just that the hunger takes over them.
Okay.
And it makes everything all consuming. Like their priority one is eating.
Right.
That's kind of like regularly being hungry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except
If you haven't eaten for like 2 days.
Well,
or
yeah.
3 days.
Except you wouldn't eat a person in that scenario.
Oh, you
usually.
might if you're really hungry.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be like a dick about it like these guys.
it's true.
You wouldn't take delight in it.
No, well, they don't take delight in it. It's
No?
interesting. No, they don't. Like okay. Later we'll find out that they do, but like for the most part, it's they are affected.
Okay.
Like they're upset about it, but they just can't stop.
Yes,
Yeah.
they wish they wouldn't. But later, Hank Pym Zombie will say something like, "I gotta admit, I love the taste of flesh, and I feel like if I were ever cured, I probably wouldn't stop eating it." And you're like, "What?"
That's not okay, Hank.
Once they eat Magneto, they all chill out for a minute,
Right.
and they all kind of regain all of their senses. And Hulk morphs back into Bruce Banner,
Oh.
where his stomach is much smaller, and so Magneto's leg is much larger, and it's like poking out of his stomach.
Oh.
And later on,
Exploded Hulk?
Yeah. And then later on, Hulk will be like, or Bruce Banner's gonna be like, "Oh no, I feel like poking through my stomach," and it just starts blasting through him, and he's like, "Oh no," and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, that's not an image I expected or
Yeah.
wanted.
By the way, they don't feel pain, but they do feel what happens as a result of pain. You're like, if you get your arm cut off, they'll feel their arm being removed.
They know that their arm was removed.
Yeah.
It just
But
doesn't
So-
like, ah.
No, it's not like, "Ow!" It's
jeez.
more like, "Yeah." So when the leg blasts out of Bruce Banner's stomach, he's just like, "It just feels gross."
You understand? I know this isn't right.
Yeah.
Has this never happened before? He's never
consumed
eaten-
that much at one time and then reverted back to Bruce Banner.
I guess he was the hungriest he's ever been.
That's
this
what he
time.
says. He says the Hulk is the hungriest ever he is.
He ate a whole leg, Ethan.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They're all kind of bitching and moaning about
Being zombies.
being zombies. Spider-Man, of course, like, oh god, I ate my aunt and my wife. What have I done? Like, he's the
Were they,
most...
like the last ones that he ate.
Yeah.
Like he saved them. For
They're the
last.
first ones he ate.
Oh,
No,
and
when
he's
he
still
first-
freaking out about it.
Yeah.
It happened ages ago.
Hey, how long has he been freaking out about Uncle Ben?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Come on.
He's...
This guy's whiner.
I guess that's in character.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to read this story anymore.
No, well,
Yeah,
don't
this
worry.
is-
It keeps
this is
going.
gross.
So they're all kind of like wondering about their situation. Colonel America's brains are half gone, and he's like, "I'm still talking and shit. This is weird." And they're like, "This is interesting." And then Silver Surfer arrives,
Ooh.
and it's during a period when Silver Surfer has not yet come to Earth. So
Oh.
Silver Surfers are scoping out Earth for Galactus' arrival. So it's the first time our heroes have seen Silver Surfer before.
Oh. So that puts it in like the 70s?
Yeah, but it can't be because Spider-Man is married. So
okay.
continuity's out the window.
So yeah.
It's just that during this period a bunch of shit happened, but all in different sequences.
Okay.
Later on they will retcon that the Sentry is like Patient Zero. That he arrived
Oh.
and he caused the zombie outbreak.
Interesting.
and
Wait, and
then-
later on, you mean they come up with more Marvel Zombies books?
There's like 7 Marvel Zombies books.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's a crossover called Army of Darkness meets Marvel Zombies Dead Days, which is literally the day before the outbreak. And
Oh.
Ash arrives, and he thinks the Necronomicon is responsible for the outbreak, and everyone starts to turn.
That's kind of great.
It's a pretty fun series. It's one of the few that I actually like that are sequels to Marvel Zombies.
Okay.
Ash is a complete dick and an idiot.
Where's
he
Ash?
eventually like screws over Doctor Doom to use his teleportation machine to get him out of there.
Nice.
It's fun. So, yeah, they see Silver Surfer and they're like, ooh, I can eat him!
Yeah.
And Hank Pym is like, okay, that's cool. Listen, I'm gonna go, because I have to go look for Jan. I don't know where she went. She got separated during the feeding.
Okay.
So then, it's a subterfuge. Hank goes to a secret laboratory where he has Black Panther on life support and not zombified,
Oh.
missing parts of his body, because he's been eating him over time, you see. Because he's a smart person.
Huh.
And and that's where he explains to T'Challa, basically, who's under anesthesia, I like it. I'm horrified by it, but I like
Right.
the taste of you, and I would probably eat it if I fixed it.
Right.
But the longer that he consumes, he's like, you would probably volunteer for this process if you knew that the more flesh I eat, the more lucid I become, so that I can eventually come up with a solution to this problem.
Right.
Because everyone here's a bastard.
Right.
And then Wasp shows up because she was tiny. She's like, aha! This is where you've been.
You've been holding out on me.
Yeah. And he's like, Dan, you don't get it. And she's like, I'm going to tell everybody. So he grabs her, and then he grows large, and then he bites off her head and spits it out. And this is when it's discovered that the zombies can't eat each other.
Well, why would they?
Because they're all assholes and they're all just trying to eat flesh. So it's like, oh, well, you're made of flesh, and I know that we've been talking and we've been eating flesh together, but so like they discover that they can't eat each other. Like it doesn't sustain them. It doesn't slake
like-
the hunger, and it tastes
So he
bitter and
knows
disgusting.
that just from biting her head. Oh, he just doesn't like the taste.
Yeah, they all find it disgusting, but they
Right.
also, I think, later they reveal that they've tried to eat each other.
Oh, okay.
Later, they do actually wind up trying to eat each other, and it doesn't work.
So he knew that biting her head off. He didn't
He's
want
just trying
to
to
eat
stop
her. He was
her.
just trying to make her stop.
Exactly. No, he wasn't trying to eat her. He bit her head off to shut her up and to keep her from telling everybody.
Right.
And then he goes, bleh, like, ugh, I hate it every time. It's just disgusting.
I see.
Oh, and he backhands her again.
Yeah.
He just will never not be violent.
Every
Nope.
universe.
Every universe, Hank Pym beats his wife. Thanks.
Or
Thanks,
bites
Robert
her head
Kirkman.
off.
Yeah. Or bites.
Well, this one he does both.
So,
This is horrific.
it's horrific. So then the Silver Surfer, like, takes inventory of the world, and he's like, fuck this place.
Yeah. No, I don't even have to feel bad about Galactus killing all these
Exactly!
people.
At one point when he's, like, declaring that Galactus is coming, he's like, you should all be thanking me! It's over for you! You're all living a
Your
nightmare!
waking nightmare will finally end.
Yeah, he
Wait,
says...
how would he even know that they're supposed to be like different versions of themselves?
He just knows that they're zombies and monsters, and
And
they've
it
eaten
ruins
most of the
whole
world.
planet, yeah.
Yeah. So the team that ate Magneto is like, shit, we all ate Magneto, but we're supposed to bring whatever we find to the team, like the rest of the team, who's led by Iron Man, and we have to figure out a way to explain how we're all okay,
Right.
Or actually, we have to explain a way that because he knew that Magneto was here,
Oh.
so we need to explain
what
how
happened to Magneto?
he went away without us eating him.
Right.
So they explain that, like, I think their trick is while we were fighting with him, a gas main went up and he was vaporized, so nobody got to eat.
Okay.
So then they go to Iron Man's stronghold, which is just basically the middle of Times Square,
Okay.
and all the other superheroes are there, and he's like, "The fuck, guys, where's Magneto?" And they're like, "Oh, a gas main blew up and he was vaporized." He goes, "Oh yeah? Hey, Spider-Man, how's Aunt May and Mary Jane doing?" He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "See, you all ate, you fuckers." 'Cause Spider-Man's always the first one to start crying when you all get your shit back together. And they're like, "I'm sorry, Iron Man, we
That's
shouldn't have."
amazing.
Yeah, and he's like, "You assholes! Like, I get it. If it were me, I would have eaten Magneto.
Right.
I get it. I just wish you'd saved me a little piece. But
I also wish you'd just tell me the truth.
yeah. So I guess what we'll do is we'll kill that silver guy that keeps flying around." So Silver Surfer shows up and he's like, "Lo and behold, Galactus is coming, destroyer of worlds, you're all fun." And they go, "Get him!" And they all just jump on Silver Surfer. And he's like, "What are you, fucking crazy?" He starts blasting him with the power cosmic.
Yeah.
Eventually, Hulk knocks him off the board and then bites his head off.
Oh my god.
And when he is... Oh my god, before that, Wolverine tries to cut him with his adamantium claws. And he fucking... What?
Did Thor break his hammer?
No, Thor was unworthy of Mjolnir long before this happens. And so he keeps using, like, random bludgeoning objects.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was a street sign that had, like, some concrete left
Okay,
on it.
that's
Okay.
much better.
He doesn't break Mjolnir on Silver Surfer's body. Although
That would be epic.
Wolverine tries to cut off like one of Silver Surfer's appendages, and the blades in his hands stop, and they just rip out of the forearm of his hand. And he's like, "Oh no!"
Wow.
Like I said,
That is
then
really cool.
It's pretty neat, but also incredibly rough.
Yeah. So Hulk is able to,
To kill the Silver
I guess,
Surfer.
because Hulk is so
The
strong.
strongest, yeah. So he bites off the Silver Surfer's head, and then the core team pretty much winds up consuming the Silver Surfer because Hank shows back up and he's huge,
Right.
and he picks up Spider-Man and a couple other guys, and he's like, "Let's go!" And then they all run over to Silver Surfer and then eat him.
Oh.
And-
So again, they screw Iron Man out of...
I think Iron Man actually winds up eating
Oh,
some of
okay.
them as well. Because, it's Spider-Man and Iron Man. Because Iron Man gets cut in half by the fucking power cosmic. And Spider-Man,
just
like,
a
loses a
torso.
leg. Yeah, he's just a torso.
Well, that sucks he can't fly around now.
Well, they all ate Silver Surfer, which means they're all imbued with the power cosmic. So now they can fly and shoot energy bolts.
Is that how that works? If you
Well,
eat
in this
Silver
universe...
Surfer, apparently, we'll never see it in any other version of fiction ever, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
If you're a zombie, that's what happens. If you're
Yes.
this kind of zombie,
yeah, right.
it imbues you with the ability to take
To
on...
take over the powers of the Silver Surfer. Which, by the way, so they do this, and it's just the popular characters who eat Silver Surfer, so that we can only talk about those characters,
Okay.
because they're the ones with the power cosmic.
Right.
So then T'Challa wakes up because Hank
Oh.
didn't put enough anesthetic in his like serum,
Okay.
and he grabs the head of Jan, the Wasp, and so Black Panther grabs the head of the Wasp, who is alive.
Right.
She's just a head, but she can talk, and she can think and shit. And she's like,
she could...
"Oh my god!" So Black Panther is bizarrely sentimental. He's like, "Jen is my friend. I'm sorry." She's like, "Hey, listen, really quick. Could you just like let me bite you?" And he's like,
Just a little bit.
And she's like, it's cool. Like, I just, you don't understand. Like, I just need to eat you. And he's like, "You can't even eat me. You don't have a body." She's like, "I don't care. It doesn't matter." And he's like, "Oh, Jen, stop talking like that. It just makes me so unhappy." Like, he's just like horrified by watching his friends be monsters.
Right.
But he also doesn't like throw her head in the sewer. He like
Right.
brings it with him.
Because he remembers her.
Yeah, and like wants to figure out how to help her, I guess. Stupid. So then T'Challa is rescued, more or less, by Magneto's acolytes. Because when Magneto was alive at the beginning of the story, he winds up getting called by this team that Magneto had recruited back in like the 90s that had a base on an asteroid that orbited the Earth
Oh,
called Asteroid M. The acolytes are just like a team of Magneto worshippers who like work with him.
okay.
Not anymore, but back then they did.
Yeah.
And they're like, Magneto, do you want us to come down there and get you? He goes, no, don't come down here. I'll somehow figure out how to get into space and meet you. Then he gets eaten. And then the acolytes find T'Challa because he's the only human being left on the Earth.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, where's Magneto?
Uh.
And T'Challa's like, fuck off, man. Leave me alone. And he's like, listen, you guys are humans. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And they're like, we're not going anywhere without Magneto. And then like they'll get, and like one of them is a real dick about it. So like T'Challa throws Jan's head at him and it bites him. And then he's like, ah, and he fucking dies. And then they all leave. And
That's kinda great.
T'Challa and the head of Jan and the acolytes fucking leave and go back into space.
T'Challa goes with them?
Yeah.
They take it with him after he threw a zombie head at one of their...
They were all like, he was out of line.
Look, Mike's
That
a
was
bit of a
fair.
dick.
Yeah. They were like, hey, he started the fight.
By the way, we've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
We have honor.
Yeah.
so
Mike
you
was
know.
a dick.
Yeah.
So they leave, and the rest of the
Bizarre.
heroes are all like, "Hey, you ate Silver Surfer, you save him for the rest of us." And so they all wind up getting into a big stupid fight. And as they're fighting, Galactus arrives.
Right.
He's like,
And what are you going to do now?
"Yeah, and what now?"
I guess
and
they'll
they're like,
bite him, and then he'll turn into a zombie.
"No,
somehow.
they don't. Like, they can't penetrate him, or at least seemingly right now they can't."
Yeah.
And they're like, "We hunger," and he's like, "You hunger, blast!" And
You don't
original
know
hunger
shit about
motherfucker.
hunger.
yeah. So then he basically just rains death upon all the heroes and winds up killing most of the unpopular ones and none of the ones
Okay.
with power cosmic. And the ones with the power cosmic are like, we gotta get the fuck out of here! This giant guy's gonna kill us! So they all bail, and Hank's like, I got a secret place that I'll explain everything to you. So then he takes the team to his secret bunker, where he thinks he has T'Challa under anesthetic.
Right.
They get there, and they're like, what's going on? He's like, listen, I'm really sorry I kept this from you. Like, I feel like a dick. But I'll explain everything to you once we, like, chill out. And he opens up the, like, sarcophagus thing, and it's gone. And like, what? And he's like, I killed Jan, and I didn't tell you guys. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. And
What?
they're like,
That's nothing. We kill people all the time.
and they're like, right
What's
on.
wrong with you?
So
Of
then-
course
Yeah,
you
but
did.
This was one of ours, and I feel really bad.
yeah.
She
So,
probably gave you lip, right?
Right? And then you gave her the 5
Naturally.
across the eyes. So then...
Because we know who you are.
Right. So then...
Because you never change.
Yeah, because you'll
Hank.
never change, Hank.
Never.
Yeah. Unless you're in the cartoon, in which case you're cool. So, because we can't
Unless
show
you're for
that.
children, in which
Yeah.
case, yeah.
So then Hank Pym, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark wind up just trying to come up with a way to defeat Galactus and eat him.
Okay.
And the less powerful and less intelligent yet still popular characters, Luke Cage and Spider-Man, wind up playing Go Fish. And they're talking about how, the hunger must be all-consuming for them right now. And each time that Bruce Banner starts to get, like, hungry, he'll turn into the Hulk. He's like, oh no, I'm turning into the Hulk! And they're like, Bruce, you gotta do it! You gotta do it to stop yourself! And he's like, okay! And he digs into his stomach and he pulls out a piece of Magneto that he ate earlier, and he re-eats it.
Oh no!
This is the act of eating is what...
No, it's the because it's still a piece that, like, hadn't been digested or whatever.
Why doesn't his body just digest it more?
Because it was just really big. It was a big piece, and he's
I
Bruce
see. So
Banner,
he
so
needs
it
to
takes
break it
longer.
into smaller pieces
Yeah.
in order to digest it faster.
Yeah, Colonel America's like, oh my god, when did he start doing that? Like, the book is self-referential in that it's like, this is really gross.
This is so fucked up.
It's why
Just
I don't.
keeps getting
It's
worse.
why I don't understand why people are like, I fucking love Marvel Zombies. I'm like, oh, do you love watching beloved superheroes just acting like unconscionable monsters and doing grotesque things with each other? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that,
So funny.
the only thing
Why
that
wouldn't
keeps,
you love that?
right? The only thing that keeps us from being a Garth Ennis book is that none of them have sex with each other.
By the way, you're entirely right. If they had sex with each other, this would just be a Garth Ennis book.
I know.
Damn it, Garth!
So
Why
then-
do you great things and then weird
And then
shit?
make it gross. So then they go to Galactus, and he's being attacked by all the supervillains that were also turned. And so you get to see, like, Red Skull and Doc Ock and everybody, like, fight Galactus.
To no avail, I assume.
No. And by the way, like, they're not just going to use their power cosmic. They built a machine that they will all funnel their power cosmic into like one big Galactus-destroying cannon.
All right.
Okay, no, that's just a giant bong. Way to
You
go,
think
guys.
everybody's a big bong.
What?
So,
No, wait a minute. If the power cosmic from
Silver
Silver
Surfer
Surfer was enough to destroy Galactus...
well, it wasn't. It was just enough... No, he didn't. They
But
didn't.
they can't have more power combined amongst themselves than Silver Surfer
That's always
originally
been my
had.
problem with the Silver Surfer versus Galactus. If Galactus can imbue the power cosmic, then the power cosmic should not be able to hurt Galactus.
Right. Or not...
Or at least not enough.
Right.
Like, it
It should be able to stun him or something.
Technically,
not kill him.
Galactus should have more power cosmic than
Yeah.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
C'est la vie. So they fire their cannon at Galactus and knock him out or knock him down.
Oh,
And he's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then the heroes and the villains have a big cool fight
Oh. Over who gets to eat him, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
because now he's down and he's
Right.
like he's wounded.
Right. He's like, oh.
And they're just gonna like live inside of him and eat for days.
That'd be amazing if they just crawl inside of him and like there's another scene where like they're in his
Their way
rib cage.
out. Yeah.
They're like, this is great. Eat, eat, eat. Oh, what have we done?
Yeah. Well, keep eating. So there's a moment where Juggernaut's like, Wolverine, you'll never be able to stop me. And he like uses his claws to plow into the Juggernaut's head and then fires the power cosmic and just pops his head off.
Nice.
And I'm like, cool.
That's awesome.
So they wind up like fucking with each other. Fucking Red Skull like grabs Captain America or Colonel America's brains and just pulls them out of his head. And then
Does that kill him?
no.
It's just real
Okay.
gross.
It's just really
I've always
gross.
wanted to do this, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, which is ironic because later on, the Red Skull will pull the brains out of Professor Charles Xavier
Oh.
and
just
then put them in his own head.
just funk.
Yeah,
I'm kind of obsessed with brains.
yeah. It's a little.
Gross.
It's really stupid.
I'm a
the-
skull
The
man.
heroes
What do you
must
want from
win,
me?
right? Because they have the power cosmic.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the heroes all annihilate the villains, and their competition was all annihilated by Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
So then they all knock over and then consume Galactus. And then we cut to 5 years later.
Oh.
And the Acolytes and Black Panther beam back on Earth because they found no life signs.
Oh.
So they think it's safe.
Yes.
Okay.
And I should mention, I guess, that on the asteroid, T'Challa's there, he's missing a leg and an arm, and he's like, can you guys help me out? And, like, Forge from X-Force is there, and he, like, he has a couple of prosthetic arms himself, so, like, he builds a couple for T'Challa.
Okay.
And
Cool.
one of the main, like, female members of the Acolytes is, like, tasked with giving T'Challa a torch. He's like, oh, don't mind if I do. And then 5 years later, they have a kid together.
Okay.
And
We'll repopulate the
They're
Earth.
trying to
It's like, we don't have enough people for that.
there's not enough.
I just want to bang.
Yeah. But they do have a kid, and they're just checking it out, and they're like, this is weird. Like, there's nobody. Like, no humans and no zombies. And then Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp head with a new robot body,
What?
walks off the platform, and she's like, yeah, the whole planet's empty. And
Wait
you're
a
like,
minute, what?
But you're fine? And she's still a zombie thing, and a head, but she doesn't seem to be consumed with hunger yet. Or at all.
Okay.
So they're like, well, where the hell did they go?
Right.
And then it cuts to like this distant planet with this weird alien species, and they're like, there's a father like tucking in his child, and he's like, it's okay. And they're like, oh no, Grand Imperial alien guy, we've got readings. Galactus is coming. Like, oh well, then we're doomed. Shit, Galactus is here. Well,
Right.
I guess we should make peace with the makers. And then the Marvel zombies who have been imbued with the power cosmic from Galactus arrive and are now traipsing across the galaxy eating civilizations.
Well, they have to keep the Galactus name alive.
Well, like,
Well, they are like Galactus in that they have an
they are
insatiable
consumers
hunger.
of worlds
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But they
Just
also have like,
with a whole bunch of small things instead of one big guy.
yeah.
I guess.
Look, we're just going to eat you and not the planet.
It's also more horrific because Galactus will convert your planet into energy and then consume the energy, whereas
Right.
these guys are humans
eating you
who
one
will
at a
bite
time.
you until you die
Yeah.
and then
It's a lot.
consume you.
It's a lot slower.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, they might stab you. Wolverine's there. He's
Yeah.
got claws.
Yeah, he'll stab you and cut you into pieces so he can eat you.
Yeah.
It's still
See?
horrific.
It's much more gross to be turned into energy.
So that's Marvel Zombies. Like, that's the fucking book. Is
That is bizarre.
the Marvel Zombies are dicks, and then they fight each other. Then they fight bad guys. Then they eat Galactus, and then they take over the galaxy.
So in the other books, like what we see what happens when they take over like the
yes,
next planet, and
yes,
the next planet.
we see them like traipsing across the galaxy. Well, during that period, they go like, "Oh, I'm not hungry anymore."
Oh,
Wait.
Like they reach a limit,
Okay. And then what?
and then they're like, "What do we do now?" And then I
Maybe we should cure
went,
ourselves.
and then I went, "No, stop."
That's enough, Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's madness.
One of the most popular things I think for Marvel Zombies isn't even the story. It's these covers by Arthur Sudium, who does classic Marvel covers but zombified.
Okay.
If you like
Yikes.
gore stuff,
Yeah, if you like gore, this is right up your alley.
then this book is for you.
Yeah. But
It's like someone took the Marvel universe and like made it a slasher movie.
yeah, but like
Zombie movie.
it's more of like a Tales from the Crypt story.
Or a Rob Zombie retelling.
Yeah. I call it a Tales from the Crypt episode because
'Cause it's kinda goofy.
so hackneyed
Yeah.
and goofy, and it requires you to say, well, don't worry about that part.
Right.
And just accept what's happening.
Yeah, don't believe anything you thought you knew.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and don't ask too many fucking questions.
Exactly.
Look, it's only a
'Cause it
half-hour
doesn't matter.
episode.
Yeah,
Just
we
go
got
with it.
22 minutes to tell you this fucking weird-ass premise, so bear with me. So
I like Galactus being in there.
I love that
He's
idea.
kind of like a zombie.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
cool concept.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's in this horrific story
It's-
with these monsters.
Yeah. Weird.
It's weird. And then when they try to, like, capitalize on its popularity by integrating it into, like, the real universe, you're like, no, you can't!
Stop.
They've demonstrated it's futile. You can't stop them.
Right. You have to like obliterate their bodies to stop them.
Yeah. You have to just collect them all and then throw them into the sun.
Yeah.
See, that's my answer to everything. Just throw them into the sun.
Just
Not a
nuke
bad
them.
idea.
That would work for many of them.
That's true. If there's one
Probably
scrap
not
of them
Hulk.
left... Oh, they also can't heal.
Oh. Their healing factor is
Is inert.
okay.
Yeah.
If they have like if they're well, like what about the Hulk? He doesn't really have a healing factor, he's just like invulnerable.
Yeah.
So is he still invulnerable?
I mean, if you were
Like
to...
if you shot him, would it bounce off of him?
Probably.
If you fed him and then threw him into the sun, because
He
he
would
wouldn't be
still
hungry
die.
anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he'd be Bruce Banner and he would burn up. I mean, you throw the Hulk into the sun, he'd still die.
Would he?
Yes!
Or would he be alive?
Or would he
inside
punch through the sun?
Yeah. He'd just be inside, trapped by its gravity, just be like, well, this sucks.
I say he dies.
He'd become even more Hulk because it's even more radiation.
Yeah,
He,
he'd be
he
so-
should die because there's no air in the sun.
Well,
so he
that's
would
true.
suffocate.
And the Hulk has
We know
established
that
he
he can
needs to
suffocate.
breathe.
No,
Yeah,
but
breathe.
he can hold his breath for an incredibly long time. The angrier he gets, the more
more
he can hold his breath.
Oh my god. It's almost like it never needed to be told. It's one of those stories where it's like, who
It's
cares?
almost like nobody asked for this.
Yes. But once it came into the world, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's like a zombie in and of itself.
I would still read this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would read this book.
You would enjoy it, because like it's fun, and the character interactions are in keeping with Robert Kirkman's interpretation of these characters. It's interesting, though, because it's like... for me, when I first read it, I thought it was like an indictment of superhero comics. I thought it was Robert Kirkman being like, I hate superheroes are stupid and lame, watch. But I think it's more just him playing with the premise and being
Yeah.
like, let's follow it to its logical
Yeah, what
conclusion.
would happen?
Yeah.
Like, look, everyone has a breaking point. Imagine if that breaking point was the fact that you were so hungry you could not stop yourself.
Yeah.
From committing
it-
these horrible acts.
It really is just like following it to its letter and not looking at it through rose-tinted glasses.
Right, right.
But even then, I don't want to ever visit this universe.
You
Why?
want to visit a universe where Peter Parker
I just-
ate Mary Jane and Aunt May?
Right?
No.
Which they think
Really?
is... Which, like, is a joke. It's like a punchline in this universe.
They're like, bah, ha, 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 he's sad because he killed his loved one.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Durr.
No, you're supposed to be lucid now. Feel bad for him. Feel bad for everything. Ah.
So...
Is there a reason behind the whole? Oh, if you destroy their brain, it doesn't kill them. Do they explain?
Oh,
or
no.
is that
I mean, I'm sure they...
thematically mean
I'm sure that
anything?
they did, but Kirkman only wrote 2 of them.
Ah, okay,
He wrote the first one and the second one, and then he went,
Right.
that's enough.
right.
I don't
Is
know
it just
what...
like I don't want it to be too easy to kill these zombies, or I want them to be distinctly different from traditional.
I think it's
zombies.
that. I think it's like... I want to establish that we call them zombies, but they're kind of not even really zombies.
Okay.
Like, they're more something otherworldly.
Okay.
You know, like...
It's almost as if they're infected.
Well, they're infected, but, like...
But with like
But
a
not-
like an
not a
alien
zombie thing.
or
They
almost
still
even
wanna-
a supernatural.
It has to be
thing,
supernatural, because if your brain is gone or if your vocal cords are gone, you can't talk.
Right.
If they can still talk, it has to be like magic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way Jan could talk without lungs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that whole thing.
Essentially, it kind of is taking zombies back to their roots, where like
It's
in Night of the
inexplicable.
Living Dead, they just come up out of the ground. It's
Yeah.
not like they didn't get infected.
No,
they
they
just
didn't
came
turn into
back to
science.
life. It was the hell was full.
Yep.
And the souls came back as monsters.
Exactly.
There was no just bullshit science.
No.
Explanation.
I like the science, but only because we've had supernatural.
So it was different, but now it's not different anymore.
So
This
let's
is
go
kind of-
back.
This is kind of a different, new way to look at it.
Exactly.
Do they ever go into like the origins? Like, what is it that
Yes.
caused this?
Yes, they do. It's
And
in a
that's
later volume.
inevitably.
I think it's
Oh.
the Century, but yeah.
I was going to ask
Oh,
if
the
that was the
Century,
Ash
right.
versus the Evil Dead one.
They did in Ash vs. the Evil Dead. It's like right after the outbreak has happened.
Okay.
All right.
So they don't even necessarily know.
No, we don't see the inciting incident, but we do see like I think like a couple of Spider-Man's villains are zombies, and Spider-Man shows up to try and stop them. He gets bit, and then he eats Aunt May and Mary Jane. Everyone has a good laugh for whatever reason, and then he goes and then he bites other people, and then it becomes like so. Spider-Man's more or less the superhero Patient Zero,
Okay.
but only because he was bitten by a zombie as well,
Right.
and because he wasn't eaten, which is of course
Right.
part of it.
It's interesting that he got bitten and then, he got bitten twice.
Yeah, like by a spider and then
Yeah,
by a
and then
zombie.
by a zombie.
Yeah.
Like, if
I
they
guess that
did
makes
that
sense for
for
him to
that
be-
reason,
yeah.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
good.
By the way, you will never see Spider-Man zombies again because Disney owns it, and they'll never portray Peter Parker like that.
Now.
They'll never portray any of them like that.
They shouldn't. I mean, like, I would imagine that having a kind of
hardcore ones who aren't as child friendly as Spider-Man.
yeah.
You mean, let alone from not getting a Marvel Zombies movie, we're not going to get a Marvel Zombies theme park attraction?
Yeah, you're not going to
Disney
get
World?
any of those things.
Nope.
It's too. People want a Marvel Zombies movie. I'm like, first of all, why? Second of all, it hates superhero. It takes everything you like and then circumvents it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly
It
violent
subverts
against
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like an angry beating of
Then
the
again,
superhero
like the
genre.
Ultimate Universe kind of does that on its own.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. Marvel Zombies from Robert Kirkman and Sean Phillips. It is a ridiculous, ghoulish, haunted book that you can enjoy for the Halloween season. I'll put a link in the description box below this video where you can pick it up and get a copy for yourself. It's a lot of fun, I guess. I don't know. We had some... What? What do you...
What the hell is happening to you?
Whoa!
What? Oh, this.
Yeah, that.
I'm a ghost. That's how I made it.
What?
For the last special. Yeah.
That's not what you said.
No, well, I don't
You said
remember
you
what
were a White Lantern and all that bullshit.
Yeah, I
don't
did all
understand
that, and
but-
now I'm a ghost. So now I'm a ghost, okay?
Well, you've been
No.
a ghost for a year.
Yeah, a whole
not
year.
okay.
What's wrong with that?
I've been sitting on the same couch as a ghost.
What the?
freaking
that's pretty
gross.
spectralist.
Yeah, it's gross. There could have been like weird phantasmal substances.
I don't
or-
have any
You've been,
ectoplasm.
like,
I
putting
already
yourself
checked.
like through us and stuff.
Trust me, I'm not doing that.
I know. I just. it's
I
giving me
can't get that image
goosebumps.
out of my head now. Oh God.
That's so weird.
I gotta
Please
tell
tell
you,
me you didn't put your body through mine at any point.
I can't
Ever.
promise that.
Oh! God damn it!
Come on, man.
I gotta tell you,
That is not cool.
I expected more from the both of you. I'll be honest.
Okay, no,
I
we
expect
can,
a little honesty from you.
we cannot.
I am
endure
being
this.
honest. I told
This
you
is-
I'm a
this is
ghost.
You
not
lied to us for a
acceptable.
year.
God
This is
damn it.
not okay. This must be dealt with.
I don't see any reason or any way that you can deal with it. I'm a ghost. I defy you to do something about it.
Class 3 full-bodied apparition. Don't worry, boys. I got this.
What the hell? When did you become a ghost?
Yes, get him! Get him!
That's how it's done, gentlemen.
Good job, Tiffany. You saved the day.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What is that? A bill?
What?
Ghost storage, ghost disposal, proton charging, cash check, PayPal, whatever. Thanks. Have a good night.
Wait. Can you cover this?
I don't have that kind of money.
You know what? We'll write it off. We'll write it off.
That's
It's
it.
perfect.
Write it off.
Just like the hot tub.
It's a business expense.
Yeah. You still got Sal's credit card number, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
Problem solved.
Yes, and delightfully ironic too.
Ha ha ha.